MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by The Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. Alright, what's going on? Why is this one window? Let me check this out. How we doing? What's going on, Rand Wolf? Got a little. This window is a little bit too big. Let me fix this. All right, there we go. All right. Always got to be something technical. All right, so I started early this morning. I actually had an idea to do my pre-market prep analysis live. So go ahead and run through all of that now. I usually start out with my volume check. I have the stuff up here at the top where I just kind of, and this is all from you can see I got my journal up. This is the journal that I shared publicly. All right, so let me go ahead and get these numbers, these volume numbers. Figured I'd show the whole process this morning, other than just the trading side of things. This preparation is important. I have my checklist here that I run through every single morning before I start trading, before I take my first trade, make sure I'm ready to go. We are looking at the ATR of 16. It's actually moving as I'm looking at this. It usually doesn't change too much. It just changes as volatility changes throughout the day. Actually, let's see. Alright, so yesterday it was 21.38. Alright, so that's a decline. Right now, we're looking at a volume of 89. I know that's lower than yesterday. Volume has been pretty heavy, like to start out the week, this week. We're starting to taper off. As you know, we've had some major economic events. So we're past that, and now the market is kind of calming down. Yesterday was like really slow. Well, during the A and B period anyway, relative to the other days of the week. Nothing significant like just in general for the market today. There is one thing, so, and I put this in my trading view last night. So, you know, we are starting to, that off that move yesterday, we're starting to break into, well, we broke into the low of that all-time high balance range that I marked off. It's the balance zone that I marked off from December, from the end of 2021. And let's see. I want to see what that number is real quick before I I noted this stuff down last night. I'm gonna put it roughly. So that range that I marked off from the all-time high, that balance zone, is from 15,690 to 16,565 roughly. So I don't see a high probability of us, you know, doing a whole lot with this range, or even getting to the highs today, of course. But anything is possible, but I'm doubting we get there today. But it's something that I'm starting to be aware of. All right, so let me run through the rest of this. Got 10 minutes before the bell. Tonight we've been mostly ranging inside of NC. Back inside the neutral zone. Still hanging out in yesterday's highs. Value area is completely inside of the neutral zone. kind of self-explanatory with the note above, so I ain't gonna put that. Looking at the rest of the market, ES is inside of its bull zone. RTY is trading more closely to NQ, but it's completely inside this neutral zone. And YM is completely taken off long. So we got a variety of structure across the board. That's fine. So YM has all the action so far this morning. Eastern time, it broke into its bull zone around 5. Leading about 6 o'clock, leading into that 6 o'clock hour, 6 a.m. hour. All right. That's going to do us for our pre-market awareness, and we are ready. Ready. Post this on Twitter and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Got about 4 minutes before the open. Oh, that ain't what I'm supposed to write right here. tell it's taking me a little bit longer to do this. Usually doesn't take me this long to do my pre-market analysis. Usually had it done within like maybe like just a few minutes. Of course, it changes things when you start to add layers to it, like doing it live. Post this on Discord. Not before mark off my volume areas. There's the high. Volume starts to break off, it starts to drop off for the low PR -1. Got a little volume area right here, right before PR -1. I'm gonna mark off. Yeah, I'm not worried about anything other than that. And we are open, but I won't take a trade until I make sure I complete all this stuff. So I got to run through my whole checklist before I take a single trade. Don't want to rush, don't want to get into a rush, because I learned about rushing is usually that leads to mistakes. So I'm doing something extra this morning, so it's taking me a bit longer to do what I normally do. So it is what it is. Just gotta finish my process before I take a trade. But interesting, we got an interesting volatility spike at the open. Nice little run into, nice little break, running the supply, lifting the high immediately at the RTH open. One more thing. Stay fearless, turn off sim. This one. Attention to detail. All right, let's lock in. break this down. It took us a little longer than usual, but we got there. Nice little supply push, supply run off the open. Push the high to around 768. An inventory off that A1. A little bit of spotty volatility down here. Or volume. Seeing the participation build below 760. Made a mistake there, so I had to close that early. Continuing to push the supply. Alright, I'm gonna chill out on the narration for a minute. Just focus on my execution. A little silent on the mic for a few minutes while I focus on trading. Unless I see something, if I see something like significant, or if I get like a significant thought, now tap in then, but just locking into what I'm supposed to be doing, my execution. Way that those first couple of 3-minute bars printed, I could see that enticing some new buyer participation, some buyers to get excited, maybe even some shorts to come in, which would create more long bias participation. That makes sense. Bring more bias into the market. But of course, you always need the other side to complete a transaction. Definitely messed up our first 2 trades. I didn't take them across the board, only took it in one account. Forgot the copy. Alright, it's all good. So we should be well into the lows of that balance zone that I mentioned during the pre-market awareness. Balance break. They got a lot of time to go in this session. Only 11 minutes into A period. I just mentioned like one point of growth that I came into over the last couple of weeks or this month or whatever. Yeah, over the last few weeks is to be more patient with my setups. But I had to get there by actually participating. So I got to the point to where I know what setups I want to be patient to by actually taking more trades, if that makes sense. So like I had to know what was good for me, what wasn't, and the only way for me to know that was me to actually put in the work and put action into what I felt was, the right way for me to trade. And I'm saying sharing that because a lot of times I see people want all the steps from A to Z to exactly how to do this and that, but the only way to really know what's going to be the best thing for you is just to actually, from my personal experience, right, is to put the action into it for yourself. That way you know if you want to be more of a scalper, if you want to be more, hold up positions for longer, if you want to swing trade. You know that by actually doing it. Like until you actually do it for yourself, you're only just using what other people have done for themselves. And it could work for them, it could be great for them, it can make them so much money, but it may not be the best thing for you to do. So even the things that people tell you that are not the things to do, if you see some value in it, I would do it for you. Definitely recommend doing it for yourself. That way you get the truth behind it, because the truth is subjective. It's going to be relative to the frequency that you hold. It's my Algo. Long ways away from my MSRP, of course. I can see that trades are not actually showing through for the stream, but I figure that out later once they locked into my execution. But I think it's probably because I switched between micros and minis throughout the week. This week I switched back, well, for today I switched back to micros because I knew I was going to be doing a little something different, just as a safety protection for myself. If I wasn't, as locked in as I needed to be and I made too many mistakes, at least if I make a whole lot of mistakes, then the risk is small. It's just because I'm doing my stream a bit different. Interesting participation came in once again around 768. I got an inventory down there around 768. Brought supply back to A1. My phone is ringing it's supposed to be on do not disturb mode. Spam calling early in the morning. Looking at a lot of volume around 776. Want to see if we actually get our supply lifted, because right now that could potentially be the low of the supply zone. Let's see if it's new inventory or it's just are we setting up our range for our supply range. We have some balance. We're breaking that balance. Let's see if we push. Kind of glancing over at the book map and showing liquidity to those who look at that above and below current price. Now look at like popular things or common indicators and tools to see, kind of get a lens or some insight into what other traders may be looking at. I won't technically use it for my own, like I'm going to stick to my strategy no matter what. But I look at these other things like the book map and And it's something I recently started doing with the book map. It's kind of just analyzing it and seeing if anything, if I can, pull any value from it for myself. Or like the VWAP or anything like that, anything that's common. I use those as ways to measure sentiment from other traders. And it kind of also see if like the things that people say, almost a kind of like fact checking. A lot of the common sentiment that's put out there, or the common things that are taught, especially the new traders. So we're still pushing the supply. So that point that I was looking at, it turned into inventory. It was quick inventory, but it was significant because there was I saw a lot of volume in that area. Still pushing the supply. We got our high around 804. I did say I was gonna back off on the narration, but that didn't really happen too much. I don't see a setup as of yet, anything even that close to a setup, so it does give me space to get these ideas off. Like I mentioned before, I am being more patient with the trades that I take. But one thing I am trying to also study in the background is how to improve my momentum technique. But it's not a necessity based off the strategy that I like the most. But it'll be interesting to see if I can develop something like a more efficient way for me to take these momentum plays, but I'm not pressed to do so. We got about 7 minutes before B period. Inventory set up at 804. Trying to create a balance there between 804 and 812. See how long we hold this area. Light supply at 812. Brought inventory down to A1 at 800 for a quick light inventory response. Still seeing a lot of entries around this 807 range. Not leaving any orders behind in this little balance area right here in this shop. Kind of relatively tight range. Back into inventory. Kind of a verbal reminder to myself that I am in my B-Force break period. About 3 minutes before B period. Wholesale is slowly dropping inventory, making sure they're not leaving any orders, getting all the orders that they can. Could be budgeting, could be positioning. We dropped the inventory quickly and then brought it right back inside of that range, right back inside of balance. See if we push back the supply. The market is being showed volatility, not volatility, liquidity and higher prices. You see that we did have some buy participation around 800. As we started to drop the inventory, so taking those on, and then we're creating liquidity but below that so we can run those stops, create some stops below that. As we drop the inventory, we grab those stops. We're going to budget, bringing it back into the balance range, the balance zone, whatever terminology you want to use there. Still showing liquidity at those higher prices. Showing some excitement, triggering their emotions as we come back to that 807, 808 supply. Got some momentum, potentially. There we go. Lifting the high, slightly lifting the high. right back inside. Just really working the emotions at this point, getting all the orders that we can get. Just because wholesale is doing this, it doesn't mean that they want to take prices higher. They could actually be doing this to budget and get that cheaper inventory once they're ready just to be done with this range. Or they could be grabbing inventory and taking it to higher prices. But as we roll into B period, we get some volatility that's heading towards that cheaper inventory. Let's see where they take it from here. Based off of how do I want to say this? Based off of things that I use for the overall bias or trade bias, I'm still long until we break below that 768 area. Breaking the hole below that, and I'm saying that as a point and as a set a specific price, but I'm always looking at these prices as ranges, not as a specific point. That's just me. You do whatever you want to do. I highly encourage you to do whatever you want to do. Don't follow me.
Yeah.
I do want to make that clear that everything, going back to great trades, come from within. Everything that I say, like in terms of sharing my experience or anything like that, or what I'm looking at for analysis, or the lessons that I've learned. At the end of the day, it's all under the theme of trusting yourself and doing what you feel like is the best thing for you. So if I say something that doesn't make sense to you, then take it for what it is and trust yourself over everything. So I want to make it clear that that's the message that I'm overall trying to send, is to trust yourself no matter what anyone else says. Whether that's me or some other person on one of these social media platforms. Alright, so we grabbed that cheaper inventory, we took it right back into to lift the highs. Took it right back to supply. Gave us a relatively quick supply response. Previous supply was around 808. Right? Yeah, I marked it off. I don't know why I'm questioning it. 808 or 812. So we'll come right back inside of that range. I can actually delete this drawing that I have. Coming back into A1 at the whole number of 800. We are stalling here. Kind kind of spreading the participation around, not seeing anything significant as of yet. For me personally. Once again, back below 800 for an inventory response. And we're going to keep dropping the inventory in this moment. My last one for the day. Nothing too crazy in terms of my participation for the day. We potentially turning that 800 to 805 area into supply. Inside of our A1, that's how you can see a lot of participation there inside of that range. Back to inventory at 792-ish. And really the bulk of the orders are spread out between that 800 range to about 791-ish. So, just off of that kind of a quick read, I can see this market, I can see price being taken in any direction from here. Not seeing anything heavily weighted to one side or the other, but still maintaining the overall trade bias that I use for my strategy. All right, going back towards the highs. Got a high around 822. No participation at that high, so we're gonna break. High chance that this liquidity up here was from some trapped shorts. Those that may, some shorts that may be looking at a longer horizon, because of course there was some shorts that, it's a high probability that there were some shorts that got in at that 808, 812 range, and actually just for a quick little hit covered around that our previous inventory. They were not looking to hold. Yeah, I hear a sentiment a lot too, where you'll see a squeeze like that, and it's 100% blamed on the shorts, or like we'll say that the shorts are maybe were trapped. But I mean, of course there are going to be some shorts there also that have strategies that are just looking to scalp that area, and they got short in the same area that the longer, the shorts that are trying to hold a position for a longer period. They covered, took their profits, while maybe other shorts tried to hold on and got squeezed out. All right, got their stops hit. Or maybe there's some shorts that also that, let's say for, hypothetically got in at 812. They wanted to go short at 812, but they got room to scale in. So as we're going higher, now we're 828, and I'm saying heavy participation come back in the 824 to 828 area. And they're scaling into this and trying to, average into it, with the thought process to position into it, right? There's all kind of scenarios is the point that I'm making. There's not just one narrative, right? Now you can pick a narrative if that helps you execute, as best as you can. But I mean, there's not just one narrative. There's tons of narratives. Right, so it can help you to pick one narrative. That's where you're at. Or, for me, I'm kind of I can't help but think in non-linear ways. Like, so I just by default I see multiple possibilities, right? And then, like, it really, for me personally, I don't really. Like, I use that to build strategies and develop strategies, but I don't really use that to make trading decisions. But that's just me, right? So if you're the type of person where you find a narrative and you like that narrative and that helps you make your best trading decisions, then stick to that. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close up my session for the day. I already mentioned that I was done trading for the day earlier. We're continuing to lift the supply, climb higher into that all-time high balance zone. I'm going to create a short kind of way of saying that, but we inside of this all-time high balance zone that I mentioned during the pre-market awareness. So if you just tapped into it recently, into this stream recently, and you're curious about that, what I mean by the all-time high balance zone, just check out the beginning of this stream during the pre-market awareness. I mentioned that there. And with all that being said, I hope you have a good rest of the day, good weekend, and until the next time, trade it easy.